Good morning everyone and welcome to Yanni's daily, by the way, not the daily exochart update, I'll use it to say that for the VIP update, but absolutely not. Welcome to you on the Moonshots YouTube channel. I didn't add a timer this morning because, I don't know, I wanted to start that like this. So yeah, hope that you're all doing very well. We're going to update Bitcoin as always, not as always, this day I'm doing some other stuff, some other crypto, Solana, other stuff like this. But yeah, today I want to do a live stream for the Bitcoin update. I don't know, I like live stream these days. Hello mate, welcome to you on the live stream. Hope you're doing very well. So I'm just going to post this also on Twitter, by the way. Let's update Bitcoin together. Tweet, perfect, normally everything is good. Alright, perfect. I'm going to retweet like everything is good. Oh my god. Alright, so Twitter, it's okay. Discord, it's absolutely okay. We have everything posted on Discord too. And yeah, we're good normally. Everything should be working well. Welcome everyone to you. Welcome everyone on the live stream. So yeah, we're going to update Bitcoin to see what we can expect next. Clearly, the wave count here a bit. Of course, there is still a lot of possibility on the very bottom here. We are going to update that because yes, yesterday we have planned some targets. If you remember good, yesterday we have planned different targets here on the top, and this is exactly after the breakout. You know that the pattern that everyone was talking about clearly. You know, this big wedge to the downside here. Everyone was talking about this. Like, I don't know how to draw this clearly. This is pretty insane. I don't know how to draw these patterns, these fake patterns like this. This is, everyone was talking about this. This is absolutely okay to break this to the upside. Now we got a lot of longs on the breakout, and as always, when you have a lot of people telling you, hey, we are breaking this to the upside, all the stuff like this, everyone trying to long because, oh my god, this is a breakout, this is what we want to do, we want to long here. Exactly the same that, for example, this big triangle here we got, okay, we have the resistance here, by the way, it's like this, the resistance here, okay, the support here. When we try to break this, a lot of people are going to long. Yes, we can do some move to the upside, but we still dump it next. Okay, but this is something really, when we are on a breakout, never ever try to long. Really, you try to long on the bottom here. That was a lot more easier, to be honest with you, to try to long on the bottom here. So why? Because data was following. For example, here on every single bottoms here, we got absorption on the market. Why is absorption? It's when you have, for example, here to the downside, you have some market order shorts coming in. So people are shorting clearly the current market price, but you have also some people that limit order this, for example, the low here, so the price on Bitcoin. So people preset an order at this price here. So these are big orders most of the time, and these limited orders here we absorb the market orders coming in on the market. So on both lows here we got absorption. More of this we got the demand next to push higher, so it's absolutely fine. And this was the support of the fake triangle here, because this is not a real triangle as always. But yeah, we find our resistance right into the first level we planned yesterday. Why do we find resistance in the first level we planned yesterday? Simply because these levels are the strongest levels on the market. These levels you expect the reactions. A monthly naked path control, we did not maybe drop it like crazy, but this is still a big, this is one of the biggest levels you can find on the market. So a monthly naked path control is the place where in the previous months you got the biggest traded volume. So around this level here, around this area, you expect to get some reactions, such as what we did to the downside here. We did a small push to the downside here. We have seen this morning, by the way, with VIPs how to trade the high here, but yeah, we still did retracement here. Okay, that's pretty cool. Of course, yesterday I feel short on the top here, on the exact top, because yeah, when you try to break something, when you have a breakout, most of the time you're going to get, when you have a lot of long, so to speak, here, when we have done this move to the upside, you can see here, we are talking about right there. Okay, this move, this push out. Okay, if I zoom out a bit, you can see here we are talking about when we have broken this. You can see here I'm talking about this move here, this push to the upside. When we have done this push to the upside, we got like crazy amount of longs. You can see here in the table on the bottom, we got 44 millions of longs opening here. So this is just pretty crazy. This is a big mass. You can see the numbers before are really less bigger than this. So here we got a massive amount of longs opening because people are longing into the breakout. So once you have done this, you just wait for some reactions you want to get to short. We have got a short reactions. We got ready to short here with VIPs. I feel a short and rated all the move to the downside here before to break everything to the upside. Why? Because we got one more time some new longs coming in on the market. If you go on the 5 minute here, for example, all of this push to the upside here after we shorted here, all of this push to the upside here was classed as bullish. So we expect to minimum take the high or continue to the next target. And this is a bit more logic because the level here we planned was not the biggest level of the biggest level. This monthly gap of control here was a really big level. By the way, do we have the sound? Yes, we have the sound normally. Once we have done this, we have got some reactions, of course, on the 1 minute. As you can see here, I feel a short, for example, here on the 1 minute, on the exact top here, boom, right, a move to the downside. You take profit 50% after $100 move or $150, for example. You set your stop loss on entry, you will stop it out, you absolutely don't care. This is still a winning trade, and you see how I'm trading. Once you have done this, you can also I mean, there are some different ways to approach these levels. For example, you break this level, okay, you go after this, and you lose a level. Exactly what I was talking about, by the way, with VIPs yesterday. Right here, as you can see here. Let's go to the next one, or reclaim the monthly gap of control with a weakness. Okay, in that case, we can look for level retest to enter again on in the market. So to speak, here we go after that. We got a weakness to push high here. We just pull a fib like this from the bottom here to the top. We back to the 618.66% on this one. We open a short and we ride a move to the downside. Are you in a short from the monthly gap of control? Yes, I'm still in a short from this monthly gap of control. I hope I feel too short on that one, as I said before. One on the move here, got stopped out on entry to profit, everything is safe. And I feel another one on this retest here because we got absorption here into the retest of the 618.66%. That give you, yeah, this is how these are typical levels approach. More this was a monthly gap of control. We do not most of the time exact touch that level. We spend some time above, I mean, a bit higher, a bit below. So that's absolutely fine. But the thing is, how I'm trading that today is it all starts from a scalp. For example, here, even on the bottom here, it started from a scalp. We do only a push to the upside like this. This is absolutely fine for me. If we do a massive move to the upside, it's better for me. Of course, this is just more profit. But here, it all starts from a scalp, such as a small move to the downside right here. You take profit 50%. I took profit 50%. I have my stop loss set on entry. Now you can pump it up. I'm long from low. This is just more profit on my long, clearly. So this is a way clearly I'm trading this today, and it's working very well, to be honest with you. And we have a value area set up today as well. Value area, what do you mean with this setup, by the way? Value area, or maybe it's not value area, but I think this is value area. I don't know this setup, by the way, this value area setup. I mean, if you mean value area, because normally VA is value area, but they open you mean the yeah, I'm not training a lot these days. I think I see what you mean. It's like the yeah, I know what you mean. I'm not using a lot this, but yeah, this is a really good setup. This is a really good setup. It's like yeah, El Polly on the Discord server that is off, by the way. He's in vacation now, but did I mean, for the course, did a trading card, you know, like when you have strategies. He did that for this, but I don't know where it is now. Did I delete the old channels? Yes. It was like the 80-20, if I'm mistaken. It was like the 80-20 setup we was calling this with VIPs. 80-20%, something like this. But anyway, so yeah, but these are really nice setups. So here, just to come back here on the wave count. So now we have planned this trade. This is pretty cool. This is the way I have been trading this. Okay, so if now we have to push higher, this is absolutely no problem. What we can do here is, I mean, something something really typical on Bitcoin we do on this kind of targets is we have the high here. Okay, we have the high. What we do here is, all by reading the order flow. So this, okay, this is an order flow here. All by reading the order flow, you're going to make your decisions on if you have to take a trade or not. For example, here, the possible move is that we have done, okay, something like this, a triple wave to the downside here, and we're not anymore going to go down here. We just have done a triple wave, and now that was just a retracement to push higher. So if we push higher, we have to know what we can expect next. What we can expect next is redo, for example, another bigger triple wave. This is absolutely possible, okay? But otherwise we can also push higher take the previous high, and once we took the previous high, we just reject here. So for example, swing value pattern, or go a bit higher, spend some time here, get a weakness to push higher. In that case, move the price back down. These are the two first possibilities. We always as a trader, I mean, this is always what I'm thinking about clearly every time when we are in these situations, because when we form a high, for example, on Bitcoin, such as this one, okay, most of the time, as you can see here, we form a first high, we take the high, and we retake again the high. Okay, this is to not make too easy trade, if we can say that. But here this is absolutely fine if we take again the high, so we'll be stopping out. And this is why I'm taking profit, and I set my stop loss entry, because the amount, I mean, this is just crazy. The amount of time you just take the high, retake the high, take again the high. This is just pretty crazy before to finally do the move to the downside. So that's why I'm taking profit. I set my stop loss entry. I refunded my fees. More of this, I'm making a bit of profit. It's still a winning trade, and when I'm stop it out, I'll just check if I can re-enter. But this, for example, is a possibility. We can just swing value pattern the price high here. Oops, no, absolutely not. So I'm going to add a swing value pattern. Perfect. This is a possibility. Now, how can you, I mean, if we're in a triple wave, we just have to pull the fib like this from the first wave top to the first wave bottom here to the top here. That will give you the triple wave target. So here's a triple wave targets. Okay, you have the 618 first target, you have then the 100% of the extension tool, you have the 123, and the last one 161 point. That is a maximum target here. So what we can look for is look at the small wave, of course, on the lower time frame, such as a 5 3 1 minute. This day I'm not really doing this, to be honest with you, because I'm in a short. I'm just trading my targets. That's the only thing I'm doing these days, you know. They're really crazy. But these are targets, and this gives us an idea of, okay, if we go down from here, okay, we keep moving down, bounce off the 1618. This was maybe more likely a triple wave to go up after that. If we, for example, reclaim everything, do not get rejection on the 618, 66% retracement, some few stuff like this, and continue to push high, get a big increasing of points right here while moving to the upside. This is classed as bullish. We expect to take the previous high. And here we go. Now the thing is, if we start moving down here and hit the 200% here, be careful. This can be still an A, B, C, for example, with an extension, reclaim after that. Or normally this is more classed as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the downside. So we expect to do a bigger A, B, C, or a bigger 5 ways down. Okay. So this is how you can approach that for this move to the downside here. Two different ways to trade up. That was a good short to take once you get above control, boom, write it down directly, or we retake the high, okay, and dump it, or, and this is why now come the order flow, we just not take the high, don't do any of this, we just pump it up to the next target or to the next one we plan on. So this is absolutely possible, and this is why this order flow is just really cool, because with this order flow you're able to recognize if you have to take a short or no, if you have to take a long or no, so to speak, if you have to take a trade. And yeah, this is just pretty crazy. So this is how I'm going to approach that. All depends on the data we're going to get on the high. For example, here, if we're approaching everything, we can get a big increasing of point rates while moving to the upside. So to speak, here we have, when we are moving up here, we can get all this increasing of point rates to say, hey, we have new longs coming in here on the market. In that case, we expect to take minimum the price high or to continue higher. If we do not do this, we expect to get absorption on the market, because we will get new longs coming in here. If we have to reject and take a short, we want to get limited all the shorts here that absorb this move of the market, all the longs coming in. So this is why, in that case, if we have this, we just wait for the demand next, and if we have the demand next to go down, we take the short. Simple as that. Now, if we do a swing value pattern, normally we want to see less bigger numbers in the table than what we did in the first touch here. In the second touch, we want to see less bigger numbers, then to move the price back down directly with the new shorts coming in. Otherwise, if we do not do any of this, if we do not have any of these two reactions, we just look for the next target. Simple as that, really. This is really easy. I mean, easy. It's I don't like to say easy, because to read an order flow is not easy at all. Now I'm usually with that, so that's absolutely more. I mean, this is more easy, but for beginners, for example, this to read is really complex to understand and really take time to get experience with that. But it's so useful. Like, really, this is crazy. Yeah, you know the setup. We are below. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yes, that's the setup we're thinking about. But this setup is really cool, to be honest with you. It's a really, I mean, this is a high probability setup. 80% of probability. This is pretty big, to be honest with you. So that's why it's a pretty nice setup. But I'm not using it a lot these days, to be honest with you. But yeah, this is a very good setup. But anyway, so yeah, this is how I will approach this zone. Okay, all depends on what we are going to do next. If we reclaim everything, if we do not reclaim everything, all the stuff like this. If you want to try also before, if we for example just do a retracement to go more down, if you want to short something, you can also pull a fib from the low we are going to do, or from the low we have done now, okay, to the top, and you add your 618 66% level plus the 70x6, and most of the time, or you can also look for a short on the retest to flip that to resistance, reconfirm that we flip this to resistance, this month's negative path control, before to bring the price back down, okay, or we can look for the 618 66%, 70x6 before to move it down, okay. And I'm going to take these trades only if the order flow is following, and only if the data behind the market are good, okay. So I'm going to remove everything here, and now if we have to push higher, of course we can look for the next target we plan here, the daily level, add a bit more of confidence, for example TPO, some few stuff like this, such as this is a TPO chart, for example. We can add, as you can see here, this TPO right here, we can add in confidence with this daily level to get maybe some better and accurate targets on this daily level, okay. Hey, what's up mates, welcome to you on the live stream, welcome to everyone by the way on the live stream, hope you're all doing very well as always. Just checking something on OBS. Yeah, perfect. So yeah, of course if we have to break this daily level, we can look towards the daily level. Here is the next one, clearly, okay. Of course, as always, before to look to the next daily level, we can look for a possible swing failure pattern. This is something you have to think about all the time, okay. And now if we have to drop, we have to drop, and we will short from here. And by the way, we will short also from here, because we planned that on the YouTube channel. So I mean, maybe you will not short from here because you didn't watch out the updates, but this was the top we planned on Bitcoin too. So if you're short from here, maybe you're long from, I mean, these longs really, if you use a bit, the order flow was not really complex to take, because that was really, but like really on Bybit, that was the ray, I mean the support here of the fake triangle here. So this was yeah. We just did have exact touch at the dollar at these levels with all the data you want, clearly, on the lows to take some longs. That's why this was pretty easy to take some longs, if you can say that. Otherwise, if we had to break this with a big red candle, of course, what we did not did here, okay. So now with a wave count, we can maybe move on the wave count now. This was just really to give you all, I mean, to see with you the target, and to see a bit of the how do we approach the zone where we are at the moment, how I penetrated that, and yeah, what we can expect next, okay. So and of course now I'm just coming back on this one, but if we have to go down, we can, we have printed some new support here, so you have to find your support here. But for example, we can retest this zone, I mean this line here of that was a resistance, now it can be a support, okay. We already flipped that to support here, as you can see. Now we can still do a bigger support, I mean we can do a bigger flip to support here and reclaim everything. Of course, you can pull some fib from the top of the move to the bottom of the move to find your fib retracement, extra. You can do some few stuff like this and add a bit more of confidence with, for example, exo charts. We have a new TPO you can add on the chart. This can be some levels to be aware of for today, okay. So now, if we think about the wave count, there is still tons of possibilities. That's why I do not talk a lot about the wave count with VIPs these days, because there is still a lot of possibilities, and we're retrading more and more levels. Really, this is really crazy because there's just so much possibilities here. Using volume profile, yes, I'm using the volume profile. You mean on TradingView or on exo chart? Because on TradingView, yeah, I'm using the volume profile. If you go here, for example, we have a nice path control, as you can see. Oops, right there. As you can see here, we have a nice path control where we find a resistance, boom, finally move it to the upside. That was a very nice path control, and that is still a level here clearly to be aware of for the support below, okay, because that having just so well respected here. We have done the high, here, a bit of sideways on it, but finally do some big wicks on it here to flip that to support and pump it after that. So that's why this is still a really good level to be aware of, in my opinion. Bit more bullish locally before the drop. Yeah, to be honest with you, that would be nice to push higher. That would be nice to push high because first of all, because we have done a move to the upside here from this wedge here to the downside. So this is, I mean, we can still retrace from here, but to go higher will be very nice, to be honest with you, because this will bring a lot more people bullish if we have to draw. And if you turn a lot more people bullish here, these people are going to long into all the resistance here or the stuff like this after the breakout, so to speak, on the very top, for example, on the move here, after we have done the breakout, this big massive triangle and bigger time frame. So if we do exactly the same here, that would be very nice, and we can absolutely go a bit higher. So that's why I'm planning all these targets here in case we do some really big move to the upside. We are aware of targets we have to look for a short, clearly. On Elliott charts, can you explain a bit more? Yeah, these are TPO. Okay, these are TPO. You have also these sessions here. Yeah, TPO or where, I mean, you combine, if we can say combine the time and the price. The time you spent, for example, here you spend more time than, for example, here or here. And if you add more of this, the volume you got here, this will give you a level like this, a naked one, if it's untapped after the session is done. For example, here you have these blue dotted lines here are session start or session end, by the way. I mean, when a session end, a new session start, as you can see. So in this session, for example, here, we got the TPO here. So where we got the biggest volume traded during, I mean, between this period and this period here, I mean, this time here and this time here, and where we've spent the biggest amount of time, if we can say that. And this gives you, if it's untapped next, a level to be aware of on the market. For example, this is, I mean, naked lines, for example. This was not really well respected these days, but if you check before what I've done, this was pretty crazy. For example, here on these TPO levels here, we got the lows we have done, as you can see, the bottom we have done here on the retest of the big triangle here. As you can see here, we have the massive triangle. Going to add these lines so you can see that. Oops, that's not the right one. So you can see this a bit better, but we have done, as you can see here, the retest here with in confluence these two TPO levels here that give you the support clearly to try to look for a long. Went a bit below here because we got some daily neck up of control, some few stuff like this. For example, here we got this daily, by the way, two daily neck up of control here too. So and a daily neck up of control is, for example, you have a daily candle here, and this is going to be where you got the most biggest traded volume during the day. Okay, for example, here you have a daily candle here, you have a big amount of volume traded here and a bigger amount of volume traded here. Okay, also a big amount, you can see by the volume profile of this candle here. And once you have an untapped daily path, daily path control, this will bring us with a daily negative path control like this untapped, and this will be a level to be aware of when we are going to reclaim everything and come and approach this level. And how are you going to know if you have to take a short or not? Because of the context for the wave count, for example, I mean with the wave count, and with the order flow. This is really the confirmation if you have to take a trade or not on these levels, clearly. And you have, of course, the weekly naked path control, the monthly naked path control, in addition to the daily ones. And the TPOs are just so important. This is just pretty insane. For example, here, this TPO, you do not have reactions all the time, of course not. For example, here we went through, but you recognize if you have to go through or not these levels thanks to order flow. That's why it's pretty crazy, and the wave count. For example, here we have done the exact low of the exact low here on this level. This gives you some perfect entry here. For example, we have done the exact top on this. This is insane, really. And even on that one here, as you can see here, we find our bit of consolidation, a bit of a range here. Here, for example, we got a new TPO here. We found our zone of resistance here. I mean, our top here clearly. Anyway, you have some TPO bit everywhere here to be aware of, clearly. To be aware of. And these levels really are the strongest level you are going to find on the market, because you combine the time and more of this, you combine the volume clearly. That's just pretty insane. And New London, Asia, yes, exactly. These are also, I prefer to go, by the way, on the web version for sessions. But yeah, New York sessions are pretty cool, to be honest with you, for when you have the pump and that moment. For example, here yesterday, okay, where I feel my short here, we was during the New York session here, and most of the time when you're during a New York session, you expect the price to do some really quick moves to the upside, quick move to the downside, some really crazy stuff, to be honest with you. Here, for example, we did some pump and down inside this move that was pretty cool. If I go on the 1 minute here, I'm going to show you that. But here, for example, we got this nice parallel channel, by the way. I'm going to add it to show you this. Oops. This nice channel that was really useful for the two yesterday trades. This is the channel I gave you to VIPs yesterday. Yeah, as you can see here, once we have done the top here, we flip it out to resistance, and we have done some crazy pump and dump here, like pump and dump. That was pretty insane. And we have found a resistance right into the top of the channel here. That was pretty cool. So not stop it, of course, because I hit my short re on the top here. Absolutely fine. And here the plan was to be in a 5 ways down, 1 2 3 4 5, or an ABC zigzag to push higher. And this is the ABC zigzag we have done here with a retest once again of the big wedge to the downside here. This wedge here. Okay. But anyway, but the sessions are really cool too. The naked sessions are really cool too. For example, these lines here are really good. For example, you can also not get some reactions, but it all because of the wave count and of the context that you approach the levels. Okay, for example, here we got a nice level here. You can see here that was the exact bottom we have done here before to push the price higher here. So yes, we took the low again because it's like that clearly, but we did some nice move to the upside still. Okay, and yeah, we got a naked session by the way here. You can see into the top of what we have done here with, in addition, the monthly gap of control, and if I'm mistaken, yeah, it was a daily level. We got a daily level normally in addition to this monthly gap of control here. You can see here we have a daily. Oops, you have to go on the daily time frame to find your 2 candle close, and here we go. You have your daily level that is in confluence with the monthly gap of control. Now I didn't give you that yesterday because the strongest between the 3 levels is the monthly gap of control, so we are more aware of we are more aware of the monthly gap of control. Okay. But your volume profile, all the stuff like this is just a way some to use. Really, this is something really crazy, and you should use if you're a trader. This is something really crazy. It is nice how you see the waves. Yeah, by the way, we're going to move on the waves. See the waves. What do you mean by? Oh yeah, you mean maybe on the low time frames. Yeah. It's all because of the experience. All will come by time. You know, when you're going to be using with the wave count, with the wave count on the low time frame, on the bigger time frame. Sometimes that's why these days the wave count is really complex. I'm not going to lie, this is really complex. This can build so much possibilities here. That's why I'm more trading level these days than the wave count. Of course, I still have the wave count in mind, so I know the context of this. If we have to push, I'm going to say, hey, we are more likely in this scenario. If we stop here, we are more likely in this one. If we stop there, we're more likely in that. Of course, you have to get the wave count, the context. You have to work on every single possibilities, so you know in what we are if we do the move. That's pretty cool. But yeah, here, for example, we can be in a B wave from here because we can be in an A, B, C flat. For example, here an A, okay, a B and a C flat. And here, for example, we are in an impulsive or an ending. For example, here we're in a wave 1, 2, 3. We're going to do a wave 4 and a wave 5. And then drop. That will be a wedge. Oh my god, this is a really ugly one. That will be a wedge to the upside and then dump the price. This is possible. Or we can be also in an impulsive, a crazy one in that case. 1, 2, 3. We expect to be maybe a bit more higher. 4 and 5 and then dump it. In case we are in this B wave, but if we're not in this configuration, we can do something else. For example, we have done the A wave bottom here because we are in a wave 5. So we can be with an ending here as we seen in the previous updates with a wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have an ending here, so really ugly one. I'm not going to lie, but everything is possible these days. In that case, now we are in the B wave and we already have the possible triple wave start. Are we going to do this B wave top here? Are we going to do it later? Only time will tell us. Are we going to do a bigger triple wave after that? Or even, I don't know, maybe a triangle here, you know, A, oops, we're going to restart that. Even maybe a triangle, you know, A, B, C, D, E, and dump it. Finally, something they do just to range just above the support clearly of this big fake triangle, this blue one here. This is also possible. In that case, we're going to do the B wave here. Okay, there's just so a crazy amount of possibilities here. We can be also, for example, if we have done the wave 4 here with a triangle and not an ABC flat here, so to speak, we have done this. Okay, we have done an A, a B, a C, a D, and an E here, so we have our triangle, boom, and we jump at the price next. So in that case, we have done the wave 4 top here. Okay, in that case, we have done the wave 5. Then I don't like this configuration. Why? Simply because the wave 5 do not reach the first target. That's why I'm not with these waves. But if we have to accept that we have done this, we have done this. But the wave 5 here do not reach the first target that should reach normally a wave 5. So that's why I don't really like it. But this is still possible, and we can still be in the B wave now because why? Simply because we can still be in the flat at the moment. If you add your flat retracement targets, we just bounced off the 123. That is an ABC flat target. For example, here we have your A, you have your B, and we are in a C. In that case, we can go really higher than this. So that's why there are just so a big amount of possibilities here, like this. As you can see here, if we pull a fib from the bottom here to the top here, right there to the bottom we have done, for example, we could reach, for example, the top of the fake triangle here. This is absolutely fine, and this is why I gave you these targets here yesterday, because if we're in this configuration, we can reach absolutely this weakening of control and even a bit more. So that's why I give you these targets to be aware of, because if we're in this configuration, you're aware of these targets clearly. This is important in my opinion, but this can be a possibility. In that case, boom, B wave next, okay, or B wave right here, by the way, on the 1618, or to the 618 here. This is also possible. We can stop absolutely here, okay. 618 first target, second target 18%, third target 1823, fourth one, the last one 1861.8 here. So the good will be to stop on the 618 because that will result to a really small B wave and to a really bearish pattern, because smaller the C wave is, more bullish it is or more bearish it is, okay. For example, if you're in an uptrend, okay, if you're in an uptrend like this, so you're, for example, with a let's say like this 5 ways to the upside, okay, you have then your retracement. Inside this retracement you're going to do, okay, inside the retracement here you're going to do is A, B with a 123, and then the C. Smaller the C wave, more you're going to expect a move to the upside, a big move to the upside, okay. So here it's exactly the same to the downside. If we have a big move, I mean a move to the downside coming in like this, we then do the retracement. In this retracement we do an A, okay, a B, and then we do a really small C like this, and boom, we dump the price next, and we expect a move, a big move to the downside next, because yeah, this is like this. Smaller the C wave is, bigger you expect the drop next, or the pump. It depends on the trend, of course. But if we stop here, that will be pretty cool. As you can see here, that will maybe match with a possible swing for the pound of the previous high, what we was talking about before. Now all depends on the reaction we're going to do here, of the order flow. Is going to tell the order flow clearly if what we have clear on this one, okay. So and if we're not in this, if we're not in this, we can be in something really different. So I'm just going to replace all the waves. Perfect. Yep. I'm gonna remove this, by the way. All the wave like this, so we can I'm going to place it like this, okay. But this can be, as I said, the other possibilities. We can also be, by the way, in the wave 1 to here, okay, with the wave 1 like this, okay, wave 1, and we are still in the wave 2, 3, 4, 5. In that case, wave 2 cannot break the wave 1 route, of course not. Oops. But for example, this is also a possibility. Why this is possible? Even if we went below the wave, below the wave 1 here, this is simply because we will be in an A, a B, and a C flat. If you add your retracement, this is not the best of the best retracement, to be honest with you, because we have tapped the 105, by the way, to 105% of the retracement tool. So this is not the best, but sometimes flat can be like this, and this is absolutely fine. So that's why you also have to pull a fib like this. And I mean, yeah, there is just so much possibility to pull the fib, so that's why I'm checking only at these targets. And this is a lot, I mean, not only at this target, of course, for example, between you have some targets with VIPs, but mainly on these targets. And because with the fibs there are too much possibilities. This is crazy, but this is also a possibility. In that case, the wave 2, as I said, cannot break the wave 1 route, and we can be in a flat like this and boom, dump it after that. This is possible. Now if you're not in this, you know that we can be also in a WXY exit with downside, because the small wave count is really fucked in these waves. So this can be a wave 1, 2, 3, or 5, or this can be a WXY X and Z. In that case, the context bigger wave is not going to be an ABC, but if we have a correction to the downside here, the Z can be done, okay, the bigger Z wave. Otherwise, we can expect to be in a bigger WXY, for example, like a W, okay, an X and a Y. The X wave had to retrace minimum, as always, 38.2. Let's take the real low we have done. So we have to reach minimum, normally here, 41,500, around there, if we have to be in this WXY. We're in a Z wave, we can be in a bigger triangle too, all the stuff like this. We already know if you wanted my updates. A, B, C, D, E, and boom, pump it up. This is also a possibility here. In that case, we are going to finish the Z wave at the end of the triangle. A crazy amount of possibilities. Really, this is really insane. So I think that's already with the wave count. We are still in the same configuration. We're going to see which one we confirm here, if we really push higher than this, or if we do not push higher than this, if we just dump the price from here, which way we confirm. And this is why I'm placing some shorts and I'm placing some longs a bit everywhere at specific points of the market, because if we have to reject from here and we dump from here, I am short. Of course, I'm short from before, from the top here, from the top here, from the top here, not from the, I don't remember this top, I don't remember, because I have some sub account and I don't remember if you're short here. This top, I closed this one to enter again with some shorts here yesterday. Now I'm in a short from here. So I place some shorts at specific points of the market and some longs at specific points of the market. Like this, you have some different counts and you don't really care about which one you confirm, because in any situations you win. So that's why this is how I'm trading today. And when you have a context like this, that is really weird. You try to do and to open some longs and some shorts at specific points of the market to not miss the move clearly. What I'm doing, so longs on the bottom, short on the top tier, extra. 40,400 is a nice swing for your pattern. 40,000. Yeah, that one is a nice swing for your pattern too. Yeah, absolutely. This one, I mean, this one is a nice swing for your pattern. Why this one is a nice swing for your pattern? By the way, maybe it's a bit higher, the one I'm talking about, because normally this one here, yeah, the fib is not the same. But this is a nice swing for your pattern. Why this top here is a nice swing for your pattern? Going to remove that, maybe drag this a bit below here. Anyway, this top here is a nice swing for your pattern. Why this is a nice swing for your pattern? Because we have a daily level in confluence with, I mean, just right after the possible swing for your pattern here. So now, of course, we have to think about the swing for your pattern. Are we going to do this swing for your pattern? Only time will tell us. If we reclaim everything, we do not swing for your pattern this. We just keep pushing higher and higher and higher. Here, if we have the good data to swing for your pattern here, absolutely. All depends on what we're going to, but yeah, why this is a good swing for your pattern? Because we have a daily level and a TPO, by the way, if you check on the exo charts. Right there, we have a TPO, right here. You can see here we have this TPO right there in confluence with the daily level and a possible swing for your pattern. So that gives us a bit more confidence to really look for a short here. Now, I'm not saying to short here as always, I'm just telling you to look for a short because this can be a short to take here on a lower time frame or on a bigger time frame. I'm open my short on the 1 minute to tell you it's really start from a scalp, and if it have to be turned into a swing trade, it's gonna be turned into a swing trade. So I think that's all really. Now you have all of the plan clearly for if you have to push high and if you have to drop from here. Of course, if you have to drop from here, just to give you a bit of the plan here, that's not the right tab, but anyway, the right chart. You just have to look at the Z targets clearly. You just have to look at the Z targets and the ABC. If we drop from here, I will place more an ABC like this and the ABC targets clearly. So here, for example, this will be every single target. We have first the 6.8 here. Now we are below, so I'm going to remove that, but this is possible to pump from here because the wave count can be a WXYZ to the downside. Otherwise, if we have to go more down, we can look towards the 100% here, then the 123, and then the 161 point. I would say more the 161 point because if we start to lose this bigger massive support, if we do not fake the dump, okay, so fake the dump and reclaim, but I mean, if we start losing this low, we still have some support there, but nothing really crazy. So if we start to, I mean, yeah, we have, by the way, you have some weekly, if I'm not mistaken, there. So we have some nice support, but if we start losing this low here, then the lows here, this become a lot more bearish, and we can look, I mean, a lot more bearish. It's like the top, for example, here we have a top, we start to break the top, it become a lot more bullish. Not really, to be honest with you, because we were looking for shorts here. So here, exactly the same. When we break the low, we look for longs because we look for swing value patterns, spend some time below. Of course, we are talking about the bigger way or bigger time frame. So here, for example, we just took the previous high, dump the price. We can take the previous low, pump the price, and retake the low, I mean the high here, so we can retake the low again. This is possible, but this is a really nice, really nice pattern here. Okay, a really nice target. And normally, yeah, in a wave 4. By the way, if you want to know a bit of how to use Elliott wave, for example, on Bitcoin, you can just go on the moon charts, I mean on the YouTube channel, and you will find a video I did yesterday. I recorded, if I can show you that. It was, let me check that. It was that one here, okay? It was the most easiest way to use Elliott waves on Bitcoin clearly to find your impulsive waves. That was, I mean, this is really an easy way for you, in my opinion, to find your wave count. And not only for Bitcoin, this is, you can do this you can use the same method for every single crypto clearly. This is pretty cool. How many accounts do you use? I use only one account, but I create sub account on this one. I think I have a second account normally, but I'm not using this one. I'm not using my sub account, my second account, because normally you cannot get 2 accounts on Bybit, if I'm mistaken. And if you use a second account, you're going to get you're going to lock your money. I'm not trying to do that, but normally you can get 1 account, and I have some different sub accounts into my, I mean, on my main account clearly. You can open that. You just have to go in the settings, if I'm not mistaken, and you just check the sub accounts, and you will be able to open everything. And after that, you just have to move from your main account to your sub account on the same account. Say you have one Bybit account, so you have your main account where you're trading. With this main account, you can open some different sub accounts, and you don't have to move from your main account to your sub account some money to be able to trade. And yeah, use USDT and USD to trade. I prefer to long with the USD pair, so like that you have Bitcoin. If the price moving up, you just increase also your balance with your, because the price moving up clearly. And if I show, I'm also using the BTC USD pair, but I'm using a bit more quantity, so to cover all the loss possible with the decreasing of the price, with the price decreasing. Otherwise, I prefer to use the USDT, and I'm also long from with the USDT pair and the USD pair, both. To be honest, I'm using both, so you can, on the main account, for example, you can long with the BTC USD, then with the BTC USDT. You cannot hedge with the BTC USD, by the way. So you show also, you can be long and short on the same BTC USD, and then you just have to move on your sub account, and you can reopen another long, for example, or a short with the BTC USD, and on 2 other trades with the BTC USDT pair. So that's pretty useful, to be honest with you. So I think that's all really for today. That was not a really long live stream, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 41 minutes. That was not really long, to be honest with you. Now this is all what we can expect. We planetary here, to be honest with you. Planetary, this has been just so well respected to be for now. So we are reclaiming a bit everything. So just follow what I said, Clay. I mean, or follow what you said, Clay. This is just my plan. You do whatever you want, of course. Just check off the possible triple wave down if we have to continue more down all the targets with the possible support below, power of control, all the stuff like this. Now if we claim here 618, 66%, or we can also reflip again this mounting gap of control as resistance. If we get acceptance higher the stuff, we can look for a possible swing failure pattern. If we do not swing failure pattern, boom, we can look towards, I mean, of course, spend some time weakness to push higher, move it down, otherwise daily level, and we're done. Otherwise next target extra high. So yeah, that's all really for today. So yeah, thank you for being on the live stream. Thank you for the chat. Appreciate it a lot. And yeah, hope you all enjoyed. Have a brilliant day. Take care of you. Don't forget to smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, to share this live stream all around on Twitter, for example, on Twitter, on your social media, maybe, I don't know, where you want. This helped me a lot with the YouTube algorithm. And yeah, tomorrow live stream, I don't know if there is something good, maybe, otherwise no. Or even if there is something good, sometimes I'm more with VIPs. I mean, I was more with VIPs before, now I'm trying to be more with you, because yeah, I like also to share the content to everyone, clearly. And so yeah, thank you everyone for being here. Have a brilliant day. Don't forget also, if you want to learn Elliott wave and exo charts, how to trade clearly, you have the website right in the description. You can just check this out. And yeah, otherwise, have a brilliant day, as I said, and yeah, see you in the next one. Cheers.